Hi, how do you define your business? Are you a newspaper publisher, a provider of information, or are you a multimedia news company? How do you define yourself? About 100 years ago, the American Railway Company defined themselves as a company who transports people and goods by railway. This was what they did, so of course they would define themselves in this way. But what was really their business? The most amazing thing at that time was that they didn't have any competition. But when trucks and planes arrived in the game, they went bankrupt. And why did that happen? Because the times were bad? Or because people no longer wanted to transport things by train? The answer is no. They went bankrupt because they failed to define themselves in terms of what they actually did for their customers, instead of defining themselves in terms of the tools they used to do this. Do you see a connection between your business and the American Railway at this point? Defining your business in terms of what you actually do for your readers and not in terms of your actual product is crucial for your survival. Your definition of your business and what it's about determines your focus. When you think of yourself as a newspaper publisher, you of course focus on how many newspapers you sell. In other words, you focus on your circulation numbers. Think of the people who work in your organization. Are they producing a printed newspaper every day? Or are they providing your customers with important news and information? If I'm hired to produce a newspaper, any task that you want me to perform that does not relate directly to the printed newspaper, I would consider extra work. So why should I write for the internet or the radio if I'm hired to produce a printed newspaper? Just look at what it says on my business card. Journalist on Landstidningen Östersund. Tidningen! It doesn't say Hemsidan. It says Tidningen, Landstidningen, not Landshemsidan Östersund. Sorry about my Swedish. I don't mean to offend anyone. As long as you regard yourself as a newspaper publisher, you'll have a very hard time adjusting to this new reality. But how are we going to do this? How are we going to make this happen? Well, we can start with the most sacred things of all, your company name. Is your company name the name of your product or the name of your company? Think of how many newspapers actually have the word newspaper in their company name. You should hold on to that name, but make it the name of the product, not the company. And then come up with a new name for your company, like the ABC News Company. The company and the product will now be two different things. I'm from ValueSoft, but we don't have a product called ValueSoft. When your product name and your company name is one and the same, you cannot change the product without changing the company. And this is exactly the point. You shouldn't identify too much with the product. Your focus should be on the people you serve and not on a piece of paper with letters and images on it. You should fire everyone in your company and then hire them back the next day. Give them a new job description, a new business card, a new title, a new anything. Replace the signs above the doors with a new company name. If we don't change what is in here, nothing will change out there. And the way we label ourselves is the first step. What would have happened if the American Railway had defined themselves as a company who moves people and freight around in any way possible? They would have looked at the first automobile and said, "What a fantastic new opportunity. We can do what we're best at, but in a new way." They would have looked at the first plane and said, "When can that thing carry goods and people around? And can you take an order of 2,000 of those things?" They would have said, "What fantastic times we're in. What opportunity. We can expand and grow like never before. Party and invite all our friends." But instead they said, "Oh my God, it's competition. What are we going to do?" You and I know that it was not competition, it was opportunity knocking on their door. Please don't make the same mistake 100 years after.